Welcome to NFL Pick 17, sponsored by Rayon Cognac. Join the movement. We're going to get right into it. Check out the leaderboard right there on the ticker. It's getting tight. And I'm going to be making some wild picks for the last couple of weeks, folks. But we intend to have a show where we can bring all of the squad here within the next 2 weeks during the holidays and crown a winner because it's coming up soon. Got about 2 more games left in the season. So I'm going to be making some wild picks. Shouts out to Windhawk these two weeks to try to get my and shout out to Rayon Cognac. First game on tap is Dallas at Washington. This is going to be played on Netflix. And so Pop is going with Dallas. I'm going with Washington. Southside Al's going with Washington. I guess he said he got picks to burn, so he's going to pick Washington on that one. Dallas is eliminated out of the playoffs. Dredd is going with Dallas as well as Windhawk, Ice, Baller, Yinzer Mama, and Drake. So it's only 2 of us going with the Washington Commanders. And so why Dallas, man? Because Dallas has nothing to play for at this particular point. Washington really doesn't have anything to play at this particular point, but it is a rivalry game. And it's usually around this time. It's on Christmas Day. I doubt anybody be watching because they're not playing for anything. But why are you picking Dallas?
Well, hopefully Dak Prescott understands that as the Dallas quarterback, it don't matter what his records are. When you play Washington, it's pride. It's straight pride. And hopefully he understands that. And they should try to still want to win ball games. I mean, just because you didn't make the playoffs, why you want to quit? You want to coast and be easy? He get paid too much money not to win games. So for the fan base, he should try to win. And I think overall, with Mariota as the quarterback, I think the Dallas defense will get after him, and I think that's why they'll win.
Dallas defense. They got a defense now? I mean,
I mean, against Mariota, they do.
Yeah, they give up a lot of points. I mean, this is a Dallas defense a few years ago. It was like one of the top in the league, but now they give away points like, they're giving out candy on Halloween at this particular point.
I'm with you, but that means then it's Mariota versus Dak Prescott.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'll side with Dak Prescott.
All right, duly noted. Next game on tap is Detroit at Minnesota, and Detroit kind of just laid an egg, and they had some help from the referees in that game against Pittsburgh last week. Everybody's going with Detroit. Detroit has to win out, and they have to depend on, I think, Green Bay losing their last 2 games in order to get that playoff spot. And it's their own fault, and I fault the coach on this one also. But looking at their roster, I was looking at it today. Their offensive line, I think they're on their 4th center, and you can see how their quarterback is getting hit and sacked and being chased around. So, that was part of the blame for it. You mentioned about the coach going to Chicago. And so there were a number of things that really kind of helped them kind of fall under in that division. Minnesota is not the team we thought they were going to be. And so everybody's going with Detroit on that one. Next game on tap is Denver at Kansas City, who is changing their name to Kansas because they're moving to Kansas. I guess they're getting renovations to a stadium that they're building. And so everybody's going with Denver on that. And I said it a couple of weeks ago, it's over. It's over. The dynasty's over. Here's what I really thought was interesting last week. Minshew got hurt yesterday. He's not as fleet as foot as Mahomes, which tells us the greatness of Mahomes, who was running around out there because he had no offensive line. And you have 1 game from Minshew, and he's out with an ACL. So they have their 3rd string quarterback in, and it's pretty much done. There were rumors that the coach was going to leave or be asked to leave, but they said no, that's not the case. He's sticking around, and they're going to try to rebuild and come back next year. Your thoughts?
Wow. Come back?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, what do you, I mean, really, honestly, do you think that's a good thing?
I mean, I look at Andy Reid, and I don't see him quitting. I think this is what he loves to do. And all those years where people used to really get on Andy Reid for not winning the big one, and now he has
Yeah.
a franchise where he created a dynasty. I don't think he wants to let that go anytime soon, and he still feels that as long as I have Mahomes, I can build
Yeah.
something. I can build it again.
And I think that's the key. You just mentioned it. As long as Mahomes is healthy, and they will probably look to get maybe younger at running back, and they always find a way to bring in receivers, even if Kelsey decides to retire. So I think they have a few more shots at the crown if they're able to put a more younger, more diverse football team together.
Yeah. And like I said, the greatness of Mahomes, because for years he's been running around making things happen. They call him magic, making things happen with offensive lines that just couldn't protect him. And Minshew gets in there one game and gets sacked, and that's it. So Mahomes has been out there with bubble gum and wire and string trying to make this happen and trying to keep the dynasty alive. But with an offensive line that Kansas City just couldn't really kind of make things happen. Next game on tap is Arizona at Cincinnati. Everybody's going with Cincinnati. And Arizona, I don't know what to say. I don't know if you have anything to say about that. We can move on to the next game if you want to. All right, the next game. Baltimore at Green Bay. And Marmar's out. He's having back issues. And the backup didn't look great last night. I don't know if a week preparation will help.
When you look at the Green Bay versus Baltimore, Marmar is out with back issues. I was really struggling with this, but Green Bay at home, even if Love is out, I think they will do enough to carry versus Baltimore. So that's why I chose Green Bay.
But the second, Willis is out, maybe out too with a shoulder injury. So they may be looking at the third string quarterback with Green Bay at home. So it's like both teams' quarterbacks are decimated at this particular point because I think Willis hurt his shoulder. They're hoping that Love can come back through concussion protocol.
Right.
But I just don't trust. I was talking to Pop last night during the game, and I mentioned that I don't trust Henry because he has a tendency to fumble. And not
Hmm.
even 30 seconds after that, he fumbled. And he's like, man, you just said that. And they kept him out in the second half and did not run it. I think it may be
Yeah.
the end for that coach and the decision to get Henry. And I remember I was telling Pop about this yesterday. It's like, remember when Henry was available and the Dallas Cowboys didn't even look at him. And maybe they knew that this was an issue with him. And that, even though when he gets in the open field, nobody can tackle him. But, when he gets hit and he doesn't protect that ball, he's Mr. Fumbles at this particular point.
Yeah, I think in Green Bay, though, the mindset that they have coming into this game and being at home, still trying to fight for a solid playoff spot as well, as is Baltimore. But I think at home is going to make a big difference for Green Bay.
So Dredd is the only one who went with Baltimore on that particular game. Next game on tap, and this is the Queen of the Pigs game. The New York Giants versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Pop is going with Las Vegas as well as Dredd, as well as Baller and Drake. Everybody else is going with the New York Giants at this particular point, even me. Ugh, why are you going with the New York Giants? Because I know you hate the Giants with a passion.
Hate is such a strong word.
Yeah, but I can feel it. Being a Dallas Cowboy fan, I can feel it.
I went back. I did a lot of studying on this. I went back and looked all five at the last 5 games for both of these two teams, and there were 5 losses for both these two teams. I tried to look over and over and over, and then I remember something. I remember earlier in the year, I watched Jacksonville play the Raiders. I watched the Raiders play a lot of teams. And as much as I really wanted to pull the trigger and pick the Raiders, the problem is they don't play well at home.
Mm.
They don't play well at home. And as bad as the Giants have been, they kind of sometimes get a little pumped up. Quarterbacks start throwing the ball around. The Raiders are an accident waiting to happen. Particularly, I think get too lax when they're at home. And I think the Giants will do enough. I just think they are still. Some of them are just so young and not comprehending what they should not be doing that they win by default. So that's why I chose the Giants.
Next game on tap is Houston at the Los Angeles Chargers. A lot of people going with Houston on this. So Southside Al, Dredd, Windhawk, you, Baller, and Mama going with Houston. Everybody else is going with the Chargers, along with me, Pop, and Drake. We're going with the Chargers. I would be surprised if the Chargers go long in the playoffs. I'm saying that, and I hope I ain't put the kibosh on them, but they look like a strong team at this particular point. They look real strong, and I hope with the experience of Harbaugh, he can get them a long way in the AFC because it's theirs for the taking if they want it. Your thoughts? Wrestling.
So they remind me of Big Time Wrestling. I almost flipped the coin. I really wanted. I thought about the Chargers. The one thing that really pushed me over is the factor that the quarterback for the Chargers has a broken left hand. Even though he's throwing the ball well, all it takes is a little bit, one hit, done. And the way the Houston defense been playing pretty well lately, they're gonna come after him. And CJ Stroud not playing, didn't he had a decent game, but I think overall they're playing with that edge. They've been winning a few games where they won. So was it 10 straight or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so they're on a mission, and I think they'll get after it,
I
particularly
think
after that
Jacksonville is
quarterback.
like the 1 to 110 straight. I don't know how many Houston.
How many is Houston won? Like seven, maybe? I might be off
Yeah, yeah,
three.
yeah. They kind of turned it around mid-season.
Yeah, yeah, they won a few games from that standpoint. So um I just like the way that they're playing. I think they won't quit. My only question is I've seen the Chargers at times not win a lot of good games. So it's been rough. Let's see, it's been real rough. So I think Houston will hold on. 9.
9 games in a row. Okay, okay, close, close. Next game on tap is Seattle at Carolina. I was really tempted to pick Carolina. I was really tempted because Carolina has been playing lights out and they've been beating people they ain't supposed to beat. And the way things are going, and we talked about it in the squad show about the really funny calls that people are making, especially they're making towards Seattle. I had to go with Seattle on this. Everybody picked the 12th man with Seattle on this particular game. But hang in there, Carolina. Maybe the referees will be on your side this time. Next game on tap is Pittsburgh at Cleveland. I'm the only one picking Cleveland along with Windhawk. Come on, baby. Let's go, Windhawk. I'm with you, baby. I'm with you, baby. I don't believe in the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like I said in the first show, the Pittsburgh Steelers are the simps of the NFL. They'll wine you, dine you, take you out, but all they're going to get is a kiss goodnight and get sent home in the first round of playoffs. I don't care if Mike Tomlin has another winning season. They're like the simps of the NFL, and they don't get the draws at the end of the night. They don't. We want the draws for the Pittsburgh Steelers fans, and that means the Super Bowl. They don't get the draws, though. They just get a kiss goodnight, first round, get sent home. See you next year. Your thoughts on this game? And that defense, Cleveland defense, I think Miles will get his, Garrett will get his record in this particular game, chasing after Aaron Rodgers, because if Aaron Rodgers play, because they seem to have that division wrapped up.
Yeah, I mean I can see that why you would pick Cleveland to a point, but the problem is the coach finds a way, particularly if Shador is going to be
Yeah,
starting, finds a way to sabotage.
yeah, he does. He does.
Always. And Pittsburgh just needs to do just enough where they'll put enough pressure on him, maybe confuse some things, let him think he's playing man, and they go to the zone. Just enough. And I think he'll make plays, but I still think Pittsburgh finds a way to try to get past him. Plus, two, it's kind of, even though they won't say it, it's more like a rivalry. It's a pride thing for
It is a
Pittsburgh. They
rivalry.
do not want to lose to Cleveland.
Yeah, and I'm betting on. I'm not betting, actually betting, but Las Vegas. Everybody's going for Pittsburgh, so you got to swing it the other way. We'll see if you can do that and make it close. Because yeah, Buffalo barely beat Cleveland last week, barely, barely. So yeah, whatever the coach was doing to sabotage it, they almost won it. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of the movie Major League, where the owner was kind of trying to sabotage the team. But anyway. Next game on tap is New Orleans at Tennessee. Me and Ice are going with New Orleans, baby. Let's go.
It's Mardi Gras.
They've you said a few weeks ago about how they play gritty and stuff, and I started paying attention to them, and I'm like, you know what? Last week they did it, and everybody else is going with Tennessee, and with the rookie quarterback. But I'm going with New Orleans. I'm gonna go with New Orleans, even though they're not playing at home. I'm going with New Orleans. Why'd you go with New Orleans?
Tennessee, you beat Kansas City that actually lost two quarterbacks.
Yep.
And okay, I get that. New Orleans still has a wide receiver in Olave. The defense shows up from time to time. I think they score enough points that defense is gonna put too much pressure on the rookie and they can win. So that's what I'm going with New Orleans. New Orleans can surprise you. And their coach, as quirky as he may be in his first year, he still want to win. And he can find a way to score some points. And I think that's why I chose New Orleans.
All right. Next game on tap is Jacksonville at Indianapolis. I'm the only one going with Jacksonville because Jacksonville has that division sold up. They're in the playoffs. Really don't need to play hard. They can shut down a lot of players and get ready for the playoffs. And I'm going with Old Man Rivers. Going with Old Man Rivers. They're playing right now, and he still got he got a few bullets in the gun. Still got a few bullets in the gun, and Indianapolis needs to make something happen. But I don't anticipate Jacksonville playing hard at all. They don't need to. And so, and then everybody, they're heavily favored in that game to win that game. And so I'm going against, I guess Las Vegas going with everybody's betting on Jacksonville, and they kind of finagle something. Yeah, the NFL's fixed. It's sports entertainment. Your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you let a 47-year-old man come out there to play football. But now I think Jacksonville is on a peak and they're trying to really keep that momentum going. I mean, it's not like they've been there before. They're really hot. They have been hot for the last few games, and why stop? Why stop this right now? So you need to keep the energy going with your team. So why would you let a team like that off the hook? So that's why I chose Jacksonville.
Two disappointing teams, one this year and one that I thought that was going to make some noise. Tampa Bay at Miami. Everybody's picking Tampa Bay at this particular juncture of the season, but what a disappointment because they came out and they were beating everybody. They looked real good. They had some injuries towards the middle of the season, and then they just can't close out games. I saw Baker Mayfield throw an interception where Evans went inside, he threw the ball outside, and then that was the game. And them trying to come back yesterday. But man, what a big disappointment with Tampa Bay. So everybody's going with Tampa Bay. We can go on to the next game, which is New England at the New York Jets. New England pretty much has everything sold up, but everybody's going with New England in that particular game. Let's go on to the next game. This is an up and down game with folks. Philadelphia at Buffalo. And Pop is going with Buffalo. Me, Southside Al, Dread, Windhawk are going with Philadelphia, and everybody else, Ice, Baller, Drake, and Yinzer Mama, they're going with Buffalo. Why did you choose Buffalo?
Buffalo has to win this game. They have to. They're at home. They need some momentum in the rest of the season, regular season. They need some momentum. Philadelphia is kind of really teetering on giving half effort. It seems like they're not on the same page. If I'm Buffalo, there's 2 games left. You got to turn this around to start to get serious as we get ready for the playoffs. You need to win this game. You need to win it convincingly. Everybody tells you how great they are, how solid they are as far as a team is concerned on paper. It's time for them to turn it around. What better way to get your fans hyped up before you head into the playoffs than be the team that won the Super Bowl?
Yeah, and to me, Philadelphia hasn't played 4 quarters all season. They need to get into playoff mode, and now's the time to set your mind and get in playoff mode. Don't take your foot off the gas. You haven't had it on the gas all season. Let's be Buffalo. This may be your opponent in the Super Bowl. If it was last year, that could have been your opponent. But you need to win this game. Next game on tap is Chicago, who's pretty much wrapped up the NFC Central. Pop is going with Chicago at San Francisco. So Pop is going with Chicago. I'm going with San Francisco. You have Dread and Southside Al going with Chicago, as well as Windhawk and Baller going with Chicago. Also, Drake and Yizamam is going with Chicago. You and I are going with San Francisco. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Purdy has been undefeated since he's come back, and he's getting into his stride. And this is a team that I think, and nobody's talking about out the NFC, who's been there before and could definitely make a run to the playoffs at this particular point. They're getting everybody healthy. Your thoughts?
You're absolutely right. And when they play at home, they play a certain kind of way, especially when McCaffrey's healthy. Chicago's been running well, and like I said before, I did call them early a playoff team, and they are, damn it, a playoff team. But this is San Francisco. This is championship honors, championship pedigrees. They just play a certain kind of way. And I watched them. It's not been pretty lately, but they have been playing with a little grit. So you just came in here, la, 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 they gonna let us win. No. You got to earn this, Chicago. And not gonna be no funky plays at the end, too, where the people ball drop certain plays. You got to earn this. Because you can't stop McCaffrey, you might as well get back on the red eye.
I think Saleh has a great defensive game plan for that Chicago team. Some of the players have been hurt on the defense and the offense, especially receivers. I anticipate a lot of bump and run and taking the timing off and things of that sort, like the old San Francisco 49ers used to do. Last game on tap is the Los Angeles Rams at Atlanta, and nobody's picking Atlanta at this particular point. And they're going with the Los Angeles Rams. It's hard to trust the Los Angeles Rams because their quarterback sometimes plays lights out, and then there's certain parts of the game he's overthrowing folks. He's not really kind of checking off, and they kind of lose their way offensively. Defense is where I'm really concerned about the Rams at this particular point. Your thoughts?
Yeah, but after that catastrophe that happened last week, they're gonna be just fine. Like this would be a good team, good time for them to kind of get back on balance, right? Start feeling good about themselves. And I think they know, kind of like when they lost earlier in the season, broke my heart when they lost to San Francisco.
Right.
And then they came right back and they were ready to go. So I think you'll see the same type of situation here just to get back on track, to get ready right before the playoffs.
All right, folks, those are our picks. Check them out on our Facebook page, The Squad. We will be back next week with Week 18.